Hi everyone, so we're going to talk a little bit about shaping behaviour today, and mainly because we did a bit of this on training on Saturday in our agility classes, shaping the weave entry, so your dog entering the weave in the correct way. Just to explain a little bit about shaping, basically shaping is a form of training where you're not showing the dog what you want to do, you're not luring them in any way, you're not cueing them. You're just waiting for them to offer you a behaviour that you can mark and reward and progress. So free shaping is very much waiting for the dog to give you a behaviour that you can then mark and reward and progress. The way I explained it on Saturday, though, it's very much like the hot and cold game you played as kids. So if you got closer to the right thing, it was hot, 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 and if you didn't, it was cold. With dogs, we tend to just do the hot, 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 not the cold, because the cold is kind of a saying that they've got it wrong, and we try not to do that. It's more about marking and rewarding the correct behaviour. So with shaping, you can shape any behaviour. We use a lot of shaping for trick training. You can use it also for things like mat training. But if your dog's never done shaping before, then you kind of almost need to teach them how to shape. So for a dog, they need to learn that they've either got to do something more or do something different. So for instance, if you were training a nose target, so a nose on hand target, and I'm not biting my buckles, thank you. If you wanted to progress that to a sustained nose target, so where your dog puts their nose on your hand and keeps it there, to begin with, you would mark and reward each kind of contact with the hand, and then what you might do, if you wanted to progress to a sustained nose target, you would probably want to have a bit more pressure from the nose. And so what I would do is not mark and reward the nose on, nose off, and for one repetition, and see what the dog offered. And usually they'll go, hang on a minute, why didn't that get rewarded? I'm gonna do it a bit harder then. And then you'd mark and reward that. And then you'd only mark and reward the ones where you're getting a bit more pressure. So that's kind of how it works. So what I was going to do today with Ruby Roo, if she can concentrate enough, is to show you a little game you can play with your dogs, just to get them used to the idea of shaping. Now, I have no idea how this is going to go. Knowing Ruby Roo, she'll probably just eat the thing I'm going to ask her to interact with. So this is what I call the reward anything game. So it's getting an object that your dog's never had before, something novel. It doesn't have to be anything particularly special. I'm going to use an empty sweet bucket, and just see what the dog offers you in terms of a behaviour. So we'll see if Ruby Roo is going to actually be wanting to do any training today. So this is just so if you haven't met Ruby Roo, she's my 10-month-old chocolate Labrador that we rehomed a week ago. And as you can see, she's quite energetic, and she hasn't done a huge amount of training, so it will be interesting to see how this goes. So I'm just going to set the situation up a bit better, and I'll come back. So what I've got here is just an empty sweet tin bucket, and I'm just going to put it down and just see what Ruby Roo does. I know you can't see me now. The likelihood is she's probably going to put it in her mouth, because that's what she tends to do with everything, but we'll see. So I'm just going to literally mark and reward any interaction with the object as soon as I put it on the floor. Good. 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 Oh, yeah. Good. 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 So you can see she's just starting to nose target it and not eat it, which is good. So I'm marking and rewarding that. Sorry you couldn't see it to begin with, but that's what's good. That's what she was doing, just nose targeting it, and that's fine. I'm happy with that. Maybe I'll look good. Progress for her to nose target enough for it to move. Good. She's been a bit lazy lump and doing it from a lying position. Good. I might just get her to stand up. Good. Oh, rubbish trainer, got a treat. Here you go. Easy. Good. Good. Yeah, clever girlie. Good. 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 So we've reverted to a paw target now, which is interesting. Good. I don't mind, I'm just going to mark and reward anything at the moment. Good! Yeah, I like that. So that was a pause on. No food in hand. Good! That's the camera. Good! Yay! Clever girl! Clever girl. Got treats everywhere. She's a bit of a food thief, so I'm having to hide the treats from her. Good. She's starting to bite it now, so I'm going to just do one more repetition and then finish, because this is what tends to happen. She gets interested and then he just wants to put everything in her mouth. Good. There we go. Clever girl. Well done. Yay, clever girl. Well done, clever girl. So there's I made a few mistakes there actually. One, first of all, that you couldn't actually see what I was doing on the camera, but I need to get a bit better with my setup. Also, the first few repetitions, or early on, I had treats around, and she's very foodie, and if treats are available, then she just ignores what she's doing and just wants to mug me. So really, I should have had a better setup with the treats, but even if I have a treat pouch, she just mugs me. But actually, I was quite pleased with that. It was only a few minutes, minute or so. But I don't know if you noticed, like, first of all, she was starting just to nose target, and I was marking all that. I'm using just a verbal marker with her at the moment. I haven't introduced her to a clicker yet, just because, she's only been here a week. But she's starting to understand what good means. Good is her mark word. And you can see that she was just playing around with it and just offering different behaviours. So first of all, she was nose targeting, then she did a bit of a paw target, and then she just got a bit silly and played, but that's because of her age. So I was quite pleased with that. So that's just a little game you can play with your dogs, just to get them used to the idea of shaping. And you might have a behaviour in mind, like you might want them to nose target, or you might want them to put a paw on it. But to start with, I wouldn't have anything in mind. I would just see what they do, see what they offer you, and go from there and have a bit of fun with it. It's a nice rainy day exercise to play. Cool. Let me know how you get on. See you soon.